Class, we are going to continue working on our project. Let's go to Canva, and I'm going to show you an example of the infographic I want you to make. Now, this is the template I used. You don't have to use that template. Of course, you know there's all kinds of templates you could choose from. I just picked this one because I thought it was the best. It provided all the info that I'm requiring you to use, um, so I didn't have to do any additional work. Now, you're going to choose an empire that we have discussed in class, in reference to the empires in Mesopotamia. So what you need to include the name of your empire. So I chose Assyrian Empire. And then if you want to add empires in Mesopotamia, you can. And then I want you to include your name and the class. Okay. So scroll down here. I've got a picture. Now I would like for you to include pictures, at least 3 pictures in your infographic to make it more interesting. I'd like for you to add a date. When did the empire begin? The place, where did it start? So I added that it took place in northern Mesopotamia. Okay. So summary. I want you to include a quick brief summary on the empire. So I started for you. The empire began in northern Mesopotamia, okay, now northern Iraq and southeastern Turkey. Now, that little piece of information was not in our slides. I would like for you to use one outside source for this project. So you're going to use your slideshow, that's one source, and then one outside source. So that is 2 sources. Okay. So I'd like for you to have 3 to 4 sentences, okay? Significance. How does this empire stand out from others? So I added 2 pictures, okay? So I've got my 3 images. Okay, so I added the library, the Assyrian library, one of the first libraries of the world, and then they invented the first lock and key. So then over here, just put a short summary. So let's see, I could put they developed one of the first libraries of the world, okay? And then I would keep going with the lock and key, okay? Effect. So how did they rule the country? So we know the Assyrians, they were not very nice to their civilians. So if you chose a different empire, you would tell me how they treated their civilians in this section. And finally, final thoughts. You can provide any additional info and then put your closing statement here, okay? So I put the Assyrian Empire was significant and brought many new inventions, but they were cruel to their civilians, and the empire eventually crumbled. Okay? So I want you to, once you have completed, I want you to send the link to our classroom. You'll put that here in the Empires of Mesopotamia project. Okay? So you'll add your link here. Okay? And I also provided a rubric for you in the assignment. So I highly suggest you look at that as well. And some of you will have a modified assignment for this. I will get with you on that, okay? So if you have any questions, please let me know.